Hello, hello, my friends. Hello again. This is the second time I'm live today. I'll be live one more time, 3 times today. But I'm super excited to be here with you guys today for the Memorydex event, which, gosh, it's a slew. I don't even know how many there are of us, but I'm saying about 8 maybe. Let's see, I could probably count it up real quick. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, way more. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 creatives today coming together to create Memorydex cards. This is new to me. Last month was the first time that I had made a Memorydex card for this event, and I really like them. I think it's a lot of fun, so I'm honored to be here as a guest again. So thank you to Jimmy Lou who invited me. Hello, Janet and Darla, and Molly is here. Hello, Miss Molly. Welcome. I see Darla. Well, let's see who else. Diana's here. Sean is here, my friend from Preps and Scraps. Any of my business friends that are here, be sure to go ahead and follow their pages. Would love to have you finding more creative chicks to hang out with. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for blessing the nest. You're the best. And I didn't even mean to rhyme. Hey, Tamara. Hey, Pam, look at all you girls just floating right in here. This set, have you seen this set? Have you been hanging out with us this morning? I'm not the first creative to go live today for this event. I think I'm the third. And there are a lot more coming up after me. We have 45-minute sessions today. You can actually find us. You could float around amongst every business page, which is a little bit of work, or it's a lot easier for you if you go straight to one of the groups that this is being streamed into. So I've prepared myself to give you the group link. So let me do that. I'm going to give you the group link. There's 2 of them actually. So I have one prepared to give to you. The Crafty Bunch is one of the groups where you'll find all of the creatives today. And the other one is in the Junk Journal Jamboree group, which is very close to my heart as well. So either one of those groups, I put the link to one of them in there. If you just go into that group, what will happen is you can follow along in that group instead of having to jump from creative to creative's page. It's a lot easier. Hey, Chris Hunter. Hey, Chris, I loved your card. It was so sweet and cute. I loved your Memorydex card. Hey, Cheryl, thanks for being here. You guys are the bomb.com. What's everybody up to today? Thanks for sprinkling, Debbie. Special shout out to Miss Debbie Stewart. Thank you for sprinkling. It helps us all so much when you guys share. Okay, so there is a freebie today. Did you know that? There's a freebie. I'll actually get you that link as well. Hey, Carol. Hey, Dina. And Vinny is here. Hello, hello. You guys, I appreciate you so much. Let me grab you the link for the freebie because that is really important, right? I'm going to show you exactly what the freebie is because the designer of this kit made us several options that are all coordinating, and they are darling. If you've been watching, you know how cute these are. 45 minutes, it flies by, right, Deb? Right? But it just goes to show you, right? When you are a creative mind like we have, a creative spirit like we have, we love the little details. We love getting lost in the details of our projects. And even a small project can fill up a good amount of our time in a very relaxing way. If you create because you love it, because it gives you downtime, relaxed time, some peace and quiet, doing what you love, you're in the right place. The name of my membership club is called the Craft Therapy Club because that's how I feel, and I want to share that same freedom of just getting lost in the joy of creating with you guys. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Okay, so you get 2 things with the freebie. I'm going to put the freebie link. It's there. It's there in the comments now. I'm showing it up on the screen just for a second if StreamYard will cooperate. Get today's freebie here. That's the link you're looking for. And there's a little short link there. I made it smaller because it was really big and ugly. But if you click on that, it's going to get you to the freebie. Here's the freebie. And I did not print out, hold on, girls, Mama got to get a chair. I did not print out all. There's a lot, you guys. She has 2 other kits. One has 13 pages and one has 18 pages. I printed out some of those. She was gracious enough to give it. Cynthia was gracious enough to give that to all of us, the designers, like the creatives who are using this kit that she designed. She gives it to us so that we can use it and showcase it. And we send everybody her way in terms of if you want it, go get it from her. The freebie includes, and let me make my screen here bigger So you get this, and I've already taken the liberty of time to fussy cut this little precious one. Are you kidding me with how cute that is? Are you kidding me? Yes, I already cut her out because I know I want to use her. So this is one freebie, and you get a really good collection of focal points, really. You got a haystack, you got the corn, you got the floral bunches, you get 3 pumpkins, the 3 scarecrows, and then a bunch of words down below that if you like to put sentiments on your projects, it's really nice to have coordinating words. I love the fall for Jesus. Yes, let's do it. Let's fall for Jesus. So that's the first page of the 2-page freebie. The other one is this, and this is actually the shape of your Memorydex cards. And she's given us some really lovely design shapes. They're all a little bit different from each other. Even the pumpkin shows you the little cutouts for making your Memorydex card. Now, I absolutely, Cynthia, if you're here, this is my favorite paper. I'm huge into grungy, distressed. And so anything that's collaged and grungy, I super love. So these two are, I love them so much. This is Darling, and of course screams fall with the gingham, of course. So anyway, what I did was I took this freebie that I had printed on it's on a heavier cardstock, but it is not cardstock, not a heavier paper, I should say, not cardstock. And when I printed it, I thought it's just too thin. I want these cards to really stand out, like stand the test of time. So all I did was I took my glue stick and I glued that piece of paper to a piece of cardboard. I am like the queen of use what you got. I love to listen. It's a dichotomy. I love products. I love to test and to get products. I cannot lie. I do. But I also love to use up the stuff that we get. I'm a huge fan of junk journaling, and it's because I love the idea of reduce, reuse, recycle the things that you already have. For example, this cardboard piece, this piece of cardboard was actually one of these. When you buy packs of paper from the store, decorative paper, they always come with a really thick, delicious cardstock on the front and on the back to protect your cardstock paper that sits in between. And I never, ever, ever throw these out because they are great for making collage boards and tags and book covers for junk journals. So you can see these are all empty, but I've saved them all because look, this one's even still connected, because in one way or another, these can get used. And so today I'm using a piece of one of those really thick. You can hear it. You can just hear it. I'm using one of those really thick pieces by gluing my printout onto that cardboard, and we're going to cut them out and we're going to create with them. So this is your freebie. You get these 2 sheets for free. Thanks, Cynthia. The name of Cynthia's business is Guided Creative Printable Designs. I had to write it down so I would make sure I didn't get any of it incorrect. Cynthia from Guided Creation Printable Designs. You can find here on Facebook, obviously. We gave you the link to get her freebie. So you can all thank her for the freebie and for designing the other 2 sets that go with this. Now, for example, this is not the freebie. I'm going to put this aside for a second. I just want to do all the explaining up front so that nobody's confused. Okay. This is not a freebie. This is in one of the kits. This is another page of focal points, and I wanted the corn. I wanted that little corn embellishment. So I went to one of the kits that she gave to us for free, but if you want it, you can purchase it on her page, and you should, just to support her for all the love and attention she's giving us. We should give it back and throw it back her way. Please support small businesses, especially through the holiday. I mean, no, all the time, all year round. Small businesses like ours, we need your support, not only in shares and likes and in your company, but also if you're going to purchase, if you purchase from us, we are always so grateful. So I printed one of the pages from the bigger kits so I could have that embellishment. And I also printed this because it's gorgeous. And I thought I may need some of this backdrop. So I wanted to have 1 page of backdrop. This is the beauty of digitals, is you can print them over and over and over again. You can print only what you need for the given moment. I also printed from her paid kit. I wanted the tractor so badly. I mean, come on. And I already cut it out. And actually, when you get this, it comes 8.5 by 11 size. I just made it really small so that the tractor, I could use it on one of my cards. I don't know that I will, but it's just so stinking cute. I mean, come on with that. Are you kidding me? So I took the time to print that much smaller. It will come to you as an 8.5 by 11, but you can play with your printer settings to print things smaller or bigger, however you need. And I wanted these smaller. Okay, so we're going back to the freebies and we're going to start creating. So let me know what you're up to. I'm going to put this aside for a minute. I think I'm definitely using her, and I wouldn't mind really, I would just love to use that floral. It's so beautiful. But let's get to cutting these out first. In the meantime, hello, who's here? What are you doing? Are you guys Memorydex card makers, or aren't you? We want to know all the deets about you. Yes, so there she is. There's Cynthia. She's here. Cynthia, I'm so honored to have your company here on my page. Guided creation, printable designs. She's up in Canada, I just learned today. So thanks for sharing that with us. And she's here today. And she said, yes, you can, when you own the printables, after you've purchased them, you own the right to use them personally to print them down small and make little snippets, or to make tags, or to make earrings, or whatever you want to make out of them. Or you can print them big and use them however you want. That is the real beauty of having these digitals. So we're going to cut. I know it's not glamorous, but it's like, you know, we got to get the cutting done, right? It's like you can't have a gorgeous, beautiful salad for dinner until you do all the cutting of the vegetables. We got to get all this cut. Hey, Margie, how are you? I'm so cheesed whenever I see you guys in the comments with the chatter. Makes my heart happy. The Crafty Chicks community, you guys, love you all, and I appreciate your company here so much. Anybody who's new to my page, the name of my page is The Comfy Nest with Grace, and you may be just finding me inside one of the groups, which is just perfectly fantastic. But if you've never hung out with me before, I want to give you a really big welcome. Okay, so I love this so much more. The last time I made my first set of cards, they were on just regular paper cardstock, and to me that just didn't feel thick enough. So I'm really happy I put these on cardboard. And of course, now I'm not going to do it now for the sake of time, but of course you may want to do something decorative on the back, and it could be as simple as gluing another piece of her decorative paper on the back so that the back isn't so plain. Totally up to you. It's your call, girlfriend. As I always say, you do you. You love the brown and black plaid. Sherry, you and me too. That I think is I think it's the most gorgeous paper. I'm so bad at getting like even. I don't know if it's the coffee talking or what, but I don't get very even circles here, like semicircles, but it's okay. Okay, you can see here the disruption right there, those two little white spots, the disruption in the orange gingham. That is for the holes that you need to punch. Now, I say need to punch. Last month when I did this event for the first time, I cut those out and I used my hole punch to make this bigger part, this big, it's skinny on the bottom and then it gets bigger. And I used my scissors and a hole punch, and I did not like the way it turned out at all. It's workable, yes, but I didn't love it. So I did invest. I did invest in this because when I thought about it, I just know I will use this a gazillion times. I just know I will. I mean, it's going to turn out so much better. And actually, you can line up her white spots that give you a guide with your card to get this cut. Now, I have cardboard in with my paper, so that was needed a little more oomph than just regular paper. But now if you get one of these fancy dancy Rolodex holders specifically for making these cards, they just slip right on there. I mean, really, how cute is that? And then you can make and create to your heart's content. I just love it. I just love it so much. Okay, so I did invest in these. I tell you, I use what I got, and I really do. However, I love a good product, and I felt like this was a really cute little set that I could grab to kind of like feed my love of making these cards. So there you have it. I will admit it, I purchased them. Someone's at the dentist. Debbie Duckett, I hope it's just for like a regular old cleaning. You get a good report. No cavities, no cavities. We don't want any cavities, you guys. I just throw it on the floor. That's how I roll. This pumpkin is even made with the little holes. So if you wanted to fussy cut that out, punch the holes in it and use it on your Rolodex. You may have a traditional Rolodex card holder. That's how these were originally done. Or you might have one of the fancy made for Memorydex card ones like I have. Either way, you don't even have to. Last month, you don't even have to buy one. Last month, Jimmy Lou showed us how to make your own Memorydex box using some skinny dowels that you can get at the Dollar Tree and I think you could use a shoe box for goodness sake. So if you wanted to make your own box, you could do that. Now, I'm not going to cut the pumpkin. As lovely as it is, it's just for the sake of time that I will not cut the pumpkin. But look at her. This freebie that she gave you gives you 6 Memorydex card options. I have 1 gingham. I'm not gonna end up making all of these. So maybe I have enough for our time today together, and I'll put these aside for later because I know I won't get through making 6 of them. Because like Deb said, the time goes by so fast when you're having fun. Oh, Kimberly had the dentist too. I don't mind when I have to go get a cleaning usually. Sherry says, I bought the Heidi Swap punch too. It's so nice. It is really so nice. It has this little, thing that's supposed to catch the door. That's supposed to catch all these. But I always flip my punches upside down. So especially like you see the little 2 white spots. That's my guide for where to cut it. Now, she has guidelines here. You can see them. And she has guidelines along here. So if you wanted to line up your card that way. But since Cynthia has given us guidelines for those hole punches, I might as well just follow her lead. Now, I'll mention to you, I haven't started decorating yet. And when you start decorating them, you may need to punch that again if you put your embellishment over that. Like if she's going to sit right here, she's going to cover up my hole. So I may have to punch that again. Just keep that in mind. So you may wait until the end to punch those. But the way I was thinking of it, if I cover this and don't cut anything out and I cover this, I'm going to lose my guide. So I think I'd rather put this through and punch them and then re-punch them because I'll have the holes in the back to follow. Now I can't see. I don't like those catchers. I like it completely cleaned out when I go in there so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm not going to lie to you. That cardboard is like, it gets through there. You can see, and it gives it a nice clean cut, but it's a little hard to do. Okay. So I don't know that I'll make all 3. I only have this 1 scarecrow cut out yet, but let's see. I also have the tractor, right? So cute. What else did I cut out? Did I do one more thing? Oh yes, the corn. So I have the tractor, I have the corn, and I have her. And actually you can see that for focal point, depending on how full you want your cards to be and how busy, you may only need one of these focal points for each of these cards. And maybe you put a sentiment over here. Or I like to collage things, so I think I may end up layering some things on top of each other. I actually feel like she's getting a little lost here on this. So I may switch her and put her here and put the corn there. I don't know. Let's play. Let's play. So I also gathered up some fall-like supplies. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. You're debating about getting the punch. I did too, because it was actually a little pricey for my like frugal mind. But my thought was, well, last week I cut it out by hand and used a hole punch, and I was not accurate at all. I'm not good at accuracy at all when it comes to cutting if I'm left to my own devices. So I wanted these to be really good for, these are from the same designer. Heidi Swap is the name. I'd never heard of her before. Honestly, I'll be totally honest. But she makes these, manufactures these, I guess, designed them, and they just fit perfectly for her little, that cutter fits perfectly for her little holder for the cards. So when I thought I'm going to buy the stamp, I thought I might as well buy her holder too. Debbie is saying that Mama P is the best at showing us options. Wow, isn't that a nice compliment from Miss Cheryl? Stephanie, I got the punch on Amazon. You'll find it in my Amazon store. Debbie is saying that Mama P, so Cheryl also showed different ways to make the holders. So you can go visit Mama P's Crafty Creations. You can go visit her page and see if you can't find those video recordings or lives on her page if you'd like to. Let's see. Debbie says, I bought the punch too, and thank you for the idea to use it on the printable. Oh my gosh, it's so easy. It's so easy, right? And it punches them so beautifully. I definitely think that these, because so it closes out a little tighter right here, right? So this part of it's bigger, the top, and then the bottom closes in a little tight because it's got to hold itself onto this, right? So you have to kind of push it, but then it holds on. But because of that pressure that you have to, I think you really need a cardstock of some form. Use a cereal box if you have to, the back of a cereal box to do this on. You don't have to have fancy cardboard on, like cards. What was I going to say? Like press board or something. You don't have to have anything fancy to do it. Okay, hay bale is cute. And I actually have 3 hay bale sizes of this one, and I printed one more sheet of hers from one of the paid kits, the purchased kits. Oh, okay. So this is this page. This is just printed really small, and this is it printed standard size. Okay. That's what I was saying about you can monkey with your printer and really get some good things out of it. I really love the barn door too. And I noticed that Chris used the barn door. Let's cut out a pumpkin maybe. And I will take the smallest one out of the freebie. A lot of times what I'll do, just to make it easier on my hands, is I'll rough cut. I want to fussy cut it, but I'm going to rough cut it first just to get that big piece of paper off the pumpkin. And then I'm going to come in and fussy cut. Oh, I think I'm behind on comments. I glanced up at my screen and I think I'm behind. Dolores, you'll find it on my Amazon page, in my Amazon store. I got it off Amazon. I'm trying to just get rid of the white now. I discovered something recently. I'm going to give you a tip that I discovered recently that I think if you like fussy cutting, but okay, just give me a shout out in the comments. Is this you? You like the look of a fussy cut, but you find it difficult to fussy cut. Who out there can, give me some hearts on the screen or tell me in the comments, that's me. I like the fussy cut, but I find fussy cutting difficult. If that's you, let me know in the comments. I got a couple of tips for you. I just need to know if that's you, because if that doesn't apply to any of you, then I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I know it depends. Angela's asking, do I print it on regular paper? I printed this on thick. It's thicker than regular printer paper, but not very thick. It's just slightly thicker. This is on cardstock, so it depends on how I'm using them. I sometimes like my fussy cut images to be thicker, and sometimes I like them thinner. So sometimes I do a little bit of both, just so that I have both available to me, depending on how I decide to use them. So anybody else like the look of a fussy cut, but don't like the work? Let's just be honest. You don't like the work of a fussy cut? I'm going to give you a tip if that's you. Sharita says, I do all time, maybe. I pre-cut lots of time ahead projects. Sharita, she cuts ahead of time. It's a really good thing to do in the car or when you're watching TV. It's a skill you need to learn, Jimmy Lou. It's a love-hate thing. But I'm going to tell you a couple of tips. I'm going to cut out this now. So let's focus on fussy cutting. I know I only have so much time with you, and it's all good. You're going to see lots of creatives today. You'll see lots of finished cards. So it's okay if I don't get through 3 finished cards. One tip for you. I like things very vintage. I like them very distressed anyway. So most of us are going to have white paper that we print on. If that's the case, come in with one of your inks and just touch in with some color around the cuts. It'll hide that super white. So see, everything that we're cutting here is fall, so it's kind of brown anyway, browns and golds, and like wheat color. So if I come in here with a little bit of that color, I'm obscuring some of that bright, bright white. The other thing, like on the tractor, this is like teachable moment. I'm like, so sorry about that bang. I'm so passionate about teaching, guys, and I love to give you all the tips to make your creative time as pleasurable as possible, as fun as possible, less stressful. That's the goal. So see in here, you got all this white around the steering wheel. I can't even get the camera to focus into it. The steering wheel is here, and you got all the white space. I am not going in there and fussy cutting all that out. I'm just not, and I'm not fussy cutting between the wheels. Mama, I just don't have it in me. Girls, Mama just ain't got that kind of time. But if you come in and you muck it up a little bit, it doesn't feel so glaring. The white that you leave behind isn't so glaring. And the same is true for between your flowers. Okay. So when you're a little nervous about, oh, I got to cut around it, but I'm afraid I'm going to leave some white behind, especially if you have dexterity issues or like you have joint pain issues like I do. Now, when I fussy cut around my leaves, the other tip I'll give you, the leaves, I go in one side and then I'm going to come in on the other side, and I'll end up with a lot of these little pieces on the floor. But it's much easier than trying to bring this down, turn your paper around, and go up. It just is so difficult that way. So approach it from the left and then from the right, cutting these little notches out, and that will make it easier for you too. The other tip I'll give you is I cut into the design, just a tish. Cut right on the line of your leaf so that you're cutting away some of the color, and then you will be assured that you're not leaving much white behind. Okay, this little sprig, I am not getting in all those, there's just no stinking way anybody could possibly do that. I mean, it would take you 3 years. Nobody got time for that. So I go around it. Okay, so now when I come in here, I'm going to show you something. I actually cut off some of the wheat. I just cut it off because it would just be too hard to capture that, but I don't think it takes away at all from the cutout. You can see that I'm struggling with this big, huge piece of paper. So rough cut around it. And then you're just dealing with this little piece of paper for your fussy cutting. And so I'm going to come as close to that wheat as I can. And now here, it's up to you whether you want to go in all of those little spots. But if you are going to go in all those little spots and cut it out, I would approach it from the left and approach it from the right, and then get that little piece off on its own. And you can use your X-Acto knife. Sometimes I just pinch it. Sometimes it just comes right off. Sometimes I don't even cut, because the stem of this set of leaves is really, really fine. It's really small. So it is very difficult to get that intricate. So just make a decision for yourself about what you're comfortable with and use the tips I've given you, particularly using your inks to go in around and obscure some of that white so it doesn't look so glaring if you're printing on white paper. You could also print on a brown paper. It's going to give your image is going to be a little darkened by that, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so you can see what I'm getting there. All right. Well, I won't force you to look at any more of that. We have, let's see, I went on at 12:30, so that means we have 15 minutes left. I probably can start gluing some of this stuff down, and I wanted to show you. Jimmy Lou says, we're having the best time at this event today. Yes, Junk Journal Jamboree, or go into the Crafty Bunch, either one of those groups, to see this event today. Hey, Joyce, how are you, friend? Leanne says, I'm new to this. They're for collecting and trading, Leanne. Memorydex cards are for collecting and trading. Of course, you can do more on them. If you wanted to, if you do a daily journaling and you wanted to daily journal, you could do that. You could put a prayer on each page, one for each day. Say if you're like going through something momentous, like getting married or something that you want to, get your head and mind and heart set straight for that upcoming big event in your life, you could do one every day, and you just collect them on your holder. It can be whatever you have or purchase, and then you can either trade them or you can just keep them as a keepsake. Up to you. Okay, I grabbed some chicken wire because chicken wire goes with this farm theme. So we might cut a little chicken wire. Told you I grabbed some fall-like things. Of course, some raffia. And I found these little black and white checked buttons that I thought may be cute on here. But I'm going to cut a little bit of this first. I need my hefty scissors to do that. I don't know where my wire cutters are, but I'm going to try to cut a piece the length of my card. Like if I wanted it to go straight across on the card. I could also fold it around, I guess. I could fold it around. That would be easier, wouldn't it? If I did it like this and folded it around. Yeah, let's try this. I've never done this before. Let's just see what we get. I'm going to take a big old chunk. And wouldn't this be cute? I think, though, I mean, you could avoid the glue altogether and just use the wires to hold it in place on there. I would be tempted to, if I was going to glue, I would use matte gel medium because it holds metals in place like permanently really well. I'm going to cut it down the bottom though. I've never done this before on a paper project. I've always ever used this on wood projects, but I think it would be so cute on here. That's just a gnarly bit I don't know what to do with, so we're going to cut it off. And I better throw it right in the garbage or I'm going to injure myself at some point on that. Okay, what a cute little textured base for a little card. I think I would be tempted, instead of trying to glue it, to perhaps tape it on the back with some decorative washi tape or something. Do I have any fall? I'm looking up at my, oh, I have gingham washi tape. I have gingham. Buffalo plaid or gingham? I don't know the difference, to be honest with you girls. We could do that. Or you could come in with that decorative piece of paper on the back and glue that to the back of it, holding that in place. I'm not going to worry about that right now for the sake of time, but that is stinking cute. And maybe the corn was going to go on this one, wasn't it? And maybe some raffia sticking out. This could be so simple. Yes, Debbie, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. She said, one of the reasons I follow Grace is because she gives us detailed instructions. I do. I'm very, very detailed. I assume you're here because you want to know. And I feel like my role is to help you learn to be creative more often with less stress. That's my goal. You use an X-Acto blade for that fine cutting. Okay, I don't know. I don't have a plan here, but I think maybe just a row if we... I don't really have a plan, girls, but raffia goes perfectly with the corn, right? So let's just... I might want it a little gnarly because you know me, I like things kind of distressed and gnarly. So I might want a little of this sticking up out here, like, you know, like over here, and then a little over here, kind of like a bow, not quite. I like the idea of it not being so flat. Before I put that on, though, in line with my love of distressing, I think I will distress the card around the edges a little bit. I'm so glad you're all here hanging out with me. New York, well, Joyce said she's just getting back from her trip from New York. Stayed at Times Square. Oh, exciting. All right, let's really muck this up because you know that's what I like. You know what I like, girls. I like me some mucked up projects. I want it super, super distressed. It's such a big difference to me. And the idea of fall and the corn stalks and the scarecrow, I just think it all adds up so well. Okay, we're going to take this. It's extra long so that I can wrap it around twice, meaning I want this stuff kind of hanging out and gnarly. Oh, hey, oh, how did I do that? Why isn't it gnarly? Do I need a longer piece? I had it worked out a minute ago. All right, I'm not gonna mess with it. Raffia is one of those things that's so inexpensive that I'm not gonna like, that piece isn't working for me. I'm just gonna go get me some new. We're not gonna fight the raffia. Okay. I'm looking for layers. Now, more is better than less because I can always cut that down. Where's my scissor? I love me some mess. This is going to be here. I was watching poor Shauna. This must have been last week, Shauna, if you're still here. She was working on a project and the thing just was not cooperating with her. And my heart was just going out to her just because we all have that happen. I don't care who we are. That all happens to all of us at one point or another. It just happened to be happening to her when she was live. And I thought, the poor thing, that just give us, you guys always do. You always give us some grace. I'm going hot glue gun and I'm going a lot. And I'm going to rely on the hot glue under the corn to kind of hold that all in place. Oh, that'd be hot, girls. Gnarly. Mimi's Craft Cottage. She says, I love you using the word gnarly. Listen, I got all kinds of funky words for all kinds of funky things over here. I really do. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. All right, look at how simple. Look at how simple and sweet that is, you guys. I mean, you could add so much more to these for sure, but that would be such a pretty little place setting too for your Thanksgiving dinner. And I suppose I could come in with the hot glue on the back. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm tempted. I think what I'll end up doing is taking, where is the piece of paper? So I printed this out. I might just take a big swatch of this in the same shape and glue it to the back. I could even, because it's a printable, I could take this sheet that these all came from and print it out again. And then I would have that same exact front, cut it out and put it on the back with some extra glue to hold that in place. But I'm not going to worry about that right now for the sake of, let's do another one. Oh, me, yes, you can steal my word. You're so cute. Yeah, she said, I need permission to steal your word. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that so much. Yes, yes, it was her elastic spine. That was not working for her. It was not cooperating at all. Okay, I'm loving the wire. So since we have this piece, should we do another one that way? Maybe she can be sitting in the chicken coop. No, it's too gnarly. Let's see. It would have to go this way, first of all. And it could be smaller. It would have to be just to use up this piece. Or let's make this piece extra small and just line the left side of this page. Memorydex card. What if we just line the left with it? Oh, geez. Use some hefty scissors for that. Oh, geez, that like poked me in the finger. Poke me in the finger, girls. Okay. I want to wrap it around because that was so easy. It's like a paper clip almost for holding that in place. This is wire. It is a little bit prickly. I'm not going to lie. So you wouldn't want little fingers to be probably, little fingers would probably poke themselves. Big fingers poke themselves too, but we don't want our littles to get poked. So be careful with the chicken wire. I think I will add just a piece of decorative tape on the back to hold this in place for now. This decorative tape, however, first of all, that first roll wasn't very sticky. So let's take a second bit. And I'm just going to use my glue stick and add some glue to this. Thank you, Mimi. Good morning, Leslie. It's not morning, actually. Is it morning where you are? It's 1 o'clock here. But if you're in Mountain Time or Pacific Time, it might be for you morning. In Central Time, I live in North Dakota, girls. And in North Dakota, it is 1:09. All right, we're going to put this on here just to help us hold this in place for now. I could cover the whole back with this gingham if I wanted to, but let's just get that on there so we know she's going to stay in place. And then maybe a little pumpkin. We're gonna layer. I actually grabbed also, oh, I meant to grab burlap, but in place of burlap, because that's also a really good fall, I grabbed just, this is my bits and bobs basket. It's where things go that I don't know what to do with them. And I have little bits of like frayed fabrics that would be perfect for this. So yeah, like these little bitty pieces, when you're a paper crafter and you work in small projects, you only need little itty bitties. You don't need huge, massive pieces of things. So I'm going to take this little piece of fabric because it's cute and it adds texture, and we're going to slip it behind the chicken wire just because we can. And the pumpkin's going to go here, but maybe, whoop, that's stuck because my finger was sticky. So maybe some raffia repeated on the bottom. Just a little bit would be cute, and I could glue it. It does not have to go all the way around. I could just glue it down. This is bending back. It's taped on the back, so it's giving me that, graciously giving me that flexibility to move around. I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the center of my raffia here, just to tack it down right above, right in between my two little holes for holding this on the Memorydex. And then I'm going to let this poke through the chicken wire. I'm giving it a little bed of raffia. Kind of makes me think of the pumpkin patch. And then we'll layer that pumpkin behind the raffia. I love me some, I just really love collage. I love layering. I love mixed media. So that means mixing a variety of different textures and types of materials. So fabric, wire, raffia, paper. That's truly mixed media, right? Oh yes. And then she has, my fingers are sticky. She has all that pretty sunflowers and sprigs of wheat at her feet. She also has it coming out of her hat. And surprisingly, the ribbon on her hat really matches the fabric that I put down. So she's just perfect right here. I do love the idea of her hanging off the edge just a little bit because it makes her a little bigger than the standard size. To get her to stick down, I better glue down. I better put the glue. We have all those little details to get glue on, so I put her on paper backing so I don't get it all over my table. I love my glue stick, this permanent glue stick. I love that it has the really wide base for applying that glue, and it's permanent. It's pH balanced, so it's not going to fade or get yellow. And we're going to stick her, I want her kind of under the raffia, just a little bit. Her feet are going to just be sitting in that raffia. Oh my gosh. I mean, come on, girls. Whoop, one raffia came off. Need some more glue. Gotta let my glue dry. That's the problem there. Are you kidding me with this? Are you kidding me? And all the glorious goodness of this is due to Cynthia's work. I mean, it's her printable. Yeah. Oh, Jimmy Lou, thanks for sharing. She's just shared the free printable link again, and she's sharing the bigger kit. So if you want to purchase more, I showed you at the beginning of today what the freebie had in it, which was plenty for you to get started, especially if you already have some other things on hand. But if you don't have other things on hand, like, you know, anything, if you're just getting started, literally, you might want to buy the bigger kit. I think, you know, that could be helpful. Or just gather burlap, the chicken wire, the raffia, anything that makes you think fall, corn husks, anything that you can think of that makes you think fall, you could grab and put on these little cards. We got 2 done. I still have my tractor, and that's okay. That can be used another time. We got the 2 done. Let's see if we can get it on the holder. You don't have to buy the holder. Girls, I just was not, Jimmy Lou and Mama P both showed how to make your own Memorydex holder, and I was just like, I don't have the time. I didn't have the time. I couldn't do it. Maybe in another life when I'm not a mom running a household and a business. Look at girls. They just kind of sit on here and you can flip through. Look at, they're hanging upside down now. That is so funny. So I think what I want to do, what I would love to do, is find one. Look at, if I stick the chicken wire around there, I would like to find one that could be like a stopper so that I could have these held up here like this so you can see them. But the idea is I'll put the dates on the backs of them, and then you can flip through your little creations like a Rolodex, just like a Rolodex, old-fashioned Rolodex card holder. Aren't they cute? Aren't they so cute? Thanks, Stephanie. She says she loves them both. I will take a photo and share it later. Cynthia is up right after me. So the person who created this whole set, she'll do a better job talking about it than me. She's also giving you the 2-page freebie, Guided Creation Printable Designs by Cynthia. She's up next, either in the Junk Journal Jamboree or in the Crafty Bunch. You can go find her there or on her own business page. You guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Don't forget to hit the like button and to follow the page so we can hang out more in the future. Bye.